I am so glad you're here. I'm Kiné Corder, the leading national certified counselor specializing in financial therapy for stress. Now, I don't know if you know, but there have been studies done that say money is the number one cause of stress. Agree? Disagree? Well, that is what they say. And because of that, I specialize in financial therapy for stress. Now, here's the thing. Stress, money is the number one cause of stress, but stress is the cause of many major illnesses. So my thought is if I address the money stress, we can take care of a lot of the illnesses in the world. But a lot of illnesses start with mental and emotional. So that's why I'm here to help you overcome any mental and emotional stress that is causing you internal illness. I do this using financial therapy. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to talk specifically about money. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Financial therapy is about 20% about actual numbers. One of the things that I talk about more than numbers is getting into calm, optimal brain. When you are in calm, optimal brain, it allows you to function throughout the day better, but it also allows you to sleep better, which is what this video is actually about. The next few videos that I'm going to do are going to walk you through how to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up at the right time feeling refreshed. This first video is to give you a foundation. It's to talk to you about your brain and really about why you are not sleeping, because there are 1,000 things keeping you up at night, but there's only one reason why you can't sleep. And it's because your brain doesn't feel safe. Now, your brain doesn't feel safe because it doesn't have the thing that will cause it to feel calm and optimal. So let's get you there, starting with this foundation video. And then from there, I'm going to take each area and break it down. We're going to do a video on falling asleep and give you some exercises that you can use in order to do that. We're going to do a video on staying asleep, give you some exercises on how you can do that. And then I'll give you some exercises for making sure you wake up at the right time feeling refreshed. Because tell me, have you ever awakened at like 3 or 4 a.m.? Yes or no? Yeah. We all have. And when that happens, what usually is going on is that there's something that your brain is trying to tell you. Now, it could be trying to tell you something about your body, or it could be trying to tell you you're off your path and you need to get on. We'll talk more about this in at the end of this video, but also in the next video, because it's one of my favorite subjects. But let's get some foundation things out of the way. Falling asleep, staying asleep, or waking up at 3 or 4 a.m. Which one of those has been like a trouble spot for you? Like something that you've been working on? Any of those? Have you thought about it? Like when you say, I can't sleep, are you saying you can't fall asleep, you can't stay asleep, or you find yourself waking up at some like ungodly hour, which is just one way of slang saying it. I'm not saying it's anything about God. I'm just saying the hour is weird. 3, 4 a.m. is either super early or super late. So either way, it's not the time you want to be up. Am I right? I know. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you some exercises that'll help you sleep. But right now, I want you to think about, is it falling asleep? Is it staying asleep? Or is it that 3 or 4 wake up that's really getting to you? Okay. Now that you know that, let's put some foundation in place. Now, falling asleep, that is conscious brain. That is your conscious brain just running, 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 can't stop. And when your conscious brain can't stop, it won't allow you to sleep because it doesn't feel safe. You see, what it's saying is we are not ready to go to sleep because we have all these things we have to take care of, even if they're small, like, oh, we have clothes to iron and I don't know, we didn't put that thing away that we left on the table. It's like, really, right now, that's what you're going to think about? But that's what your brain does because somewhere, usually childhood, If you didn't have all the things done, then something not so good would happen. And you know what I'm talking about. And so now in adulthood, your brain still feels like that. I don't have all the things done. I'm going to get in trouble. Even though now you're an adult and you're not going to get in trouble. Only person who's going to be mad at you is probably yourself. Maybe your significant other if you leave with somebody and you left something on the table that they really don't want on the table, but you won't be in trouble. You'll just have to hear them nag. And that's not what's really keeping you up at night. What's really keeping you up at night is that old program that got put into your brain between 0 and 5, 0 and 7 years old, very early in life. So that's the first part. If you are having trouble falling asleep, it is your conscious brain. And we've got to get your conscious brain to think or know that everything is okay. We'll do that in the next video. The rest of this video is going to give you foundation for the other parts of why you might be not sleeping. Now, if that was you, if you're conscious brain and you're like, I just need to know what to do and that's all I need to know, it's up to you. You can go on to the next video. But I think that it would be more valuable for you to hear these other two parts so that you can see if they do happen to you, how to overcome them and why they're happening. So once you have understanding of your conscious brain keeping you from falling asleep, the next thing you'll need to understand is your subconscious brain. Your subconscious brain is the one that wakes you up in the middle of the night. Now, sometimes you think you're waking up because you've got to go to the bathroom, but especially at that 3 or 4 a.m., but truly you have to go to the bathroom because now your body knows you're awake. But when you're going through your circadian rhythms, usually they go something like this. They usually go about 90 minutes each. Now, they could be a little shorter or a little longer, just depending on your brain. But as you go through those brain waves, when your brain is going down, sleep, 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 you go into REM, you go into that deep sleep, and then you start to come back up. When you come back up, and then your brain gets any inkling of that, your subconscious brain then says, we're not safe. There's a bunch of things happening in our life that we need to take care of because like we could get fired from our job, aliens could come, the cat could run out the house. It's like all the big crazy imagination things. Yes, you could get fired from your job. Of course, that's a possibility. But really, how possible is it? Now, there are times where you work somewhere and there are layoffs happening. This is legitimate. But most of the time, when your body and your brain are having these catastrophic thinking of all the terrible things that could happen, what ifs, it's really not going to happen. But your brain does feel like you need to be prepared for it. So it runs through all the possible things that could happen. Why? So it can keep you safe. It doesn't want you to run into any blind spots and go, oh my gosh, oh no, look what we ran into. We weren't ready. I have a little free 5-minute talk on being prepared versus planning. And basically what it says, you can go and listen to it. But overall, what it says is there are things you can plan for. Those are the things you can predict. Okay, plan for this, plan for that. But then there are things that you need to prepare for. These are things you cannot predict. These are things that come out of nowhere. And those are the things you need to be prepared for. But how do you prepare for them? Usually, this is mentally. You are telling your brain, you are assuring your brain that no matter what, you will be ready. You can think on your feet. You are strong and capable. You can handle what comes to you. And you also have resources and you have people you can count on. Now, maybe not all of us have people we can count on, but I bet you, if you really thought about it, there is someone that you've been saying, I don't want to bother that person. They're there. Trust me, you have somebody you can count on, whether you want to or not. Maybe you like to be self-sufficient. And that is part of what's keeping you up at night and why you can't sleep. You don't need to be self-sufficient. We all have to count on each other, but that's a whole nother video and we will get into it. Let's move on to subconscious brain. Not something you get to talk about very often, but this unconscious brain is where all the involuntary things in your body happen. Like your food digests, your heart beat, your lungs breathe. While you are sleeping, all these things are still happening. Not because of your conscious brain, but because of your unconscious brain. So, you know how they say we only use 5 or 10% of our brains? Well, they're really referring to the conscious brain. The conscious brain is only about 5 or 10% of your brain. You still have your subconscious brain, lots of things happening there, lots of emotion, right? And then you have your unconscious brain. This is where all the involuntary stuff is happening. And we're very thankful for our unconscious brain, although our unconscious brain is very primitive. So it can keep you up at night when it wants to make sure that you're evolving into the person you need to evolve to in order to stay alive, because it has coded everything that has happened to your ancestors, everything that's happened in the past, not just to you, but people who you came from. And it's recorded those things. And it's like danger, 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 danger. It's holding all of these ideas of danger. And it wants to make you aware that there's a evolution that you need to have that you're not having. Now, sometimes that just means maybe you need a new job because this isn't fulfilling and there's some meaning in life that you want, some purpose, an impact, some contribution, or maybe just some ease and you're not there. It could also mean that there's something going on in your body that you need to be aware of. And this 3 or 4 a.m. is awakening you to just give you that inkling. Go ahead and do some research. That's what it's saying. Do some research, research. Now, you may not know what it is, and you might have some idea. Either way, listen to your brain. If you are waking up at 3 or 4 a.m., it is important that you give that credence. Don't ignore it. Don't just think it's because you need to go to the bathroom. Don't just think it's because you didn't you drank coffee too late in the day. The 3 or 4 a.m. wake up is very important. There's a message for you. And if you just allow yourself, don't get too upset. Don't beat yourself up. Don't say anything's wrong with you because there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, this means that your body's working. It is doing what it's supposed to do, and that is warn you. Warn you that you're off the path. Warn you that there may be something going on in your body you want to check. So you thank your body. Thank you. This is the unconscious brain. When you're waking up at 3 a.m., the first thing you want to do is just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Once you get those thank you out, then you can ask your brain, is there anything you want to say to me? And then just be quiet. Now, there are lots of exercises, some here, some on the internet that you can do. This is just one of them. And you may say, Kiné, that just sounds too simple. That just won't work. And I say to you, try it. Thank you. Thank you. Just repeat it over and over and over until you feel the feeling of gratitude. And then you're going to ask your brain, is there anything you would like to say to me? And just listen. Now, the first time it might not work. You might just get silence, or you might hear something and totally ignore it because you're not used to listening to your brain. Try it. Be quiet. Listen and receive. Are we in agreement? We can try it. Okay, now let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to subconscious brain. If you find yourself awakened in the middle of the night, this is your subconscious brain kind of warning you that there are all of these threats around you. And you can say to your brain, I am safe. 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 Now, something else you can do, if you like, is to listen to a guided meditation, one here on Insight Timer. Maybe you can listen to an audiobook. This distracts your brain from all of those warnings. So, what you're doing is allowing your subconscious brain to rest, letting it know it is okay. Everything is okay. It is fine. I am safe. Thank you. Thank you for warning me, but I am safe. I am in my bed. I am safe. Now, I will say this, if in your bed is not a safe place for you, that is something totally different, and you've got to handle that. But in normal cases, when you're not in a dire straight situation or abusive situation, you are just going to remind your brain that everything is okay. Everything is okay. I am safe. Thank you. Thank you. And then you can also say, I appreciate you. I understand you. I love you, but I am safe. Okay. Now that's your subconscious brain. And that's if you find yourself awakened in the middle of the night. But what if you can't fall asleep? Then here's what you're going to do. You are going to first, I call it deactivation, preparation, and hydration. Before you go to bed, you're going to do a night routine. Those three things. Hydrate yourself at least an hour and a half, no no shorter than an hour, because you don't want to have to go to the bathroom. Remember, this keeps waking you up, this bathroom thing. At least an hour before you go to bed, maybe even 2 hours if your bladder is really weak or small. So then hydration. Preparation is prepare for the next day. Maybe you get your clothes out, maybe you remember the things that you're going to have to do the next day. And deactivation is something I do. I have some videos. These are free videos. I have videos on it, and it really is about what I call the 4 S's of self care, where you just have some silence, a little bit of sound that kind of like gets that stress out of your body. You do some stretching that helps the stress really move out of your body, and then soothing. This helps you get really into the sleep time. And once you train your brain that I do these things, and you don't have to do all 4 of them. You might just choose soothing. You do them and you train your brain that I do this before I sleep. So that's your deactivation. So you did hydration, preparation, and deactivation. You do these things to prepare your brain for sleep. And then once you get in the bed, you can say the words deep sleep, deep sleep, deep sleep, deep sleep. Now, I have meditations on here for sleep. You can listen to them. This recording was just to give you the exercises, the steps, the background, the foundation, the education, so you understand what is happening in your brain, in your body. And you don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to do something about it. And it is my responsibility to guide you. So if you have any questions, please leave comments. I welcome them. I'll answer them. And if you say, I disagree with all of this, Kiné, that's okay too. We're all learning. Maybe you can share something you've learned about your sleep with me. I'm open to it. So glad we had this time together. I will see you sooner. Love you muchly. And good night. Sleep well.